Hey, welcome everybody. Mark Edward Davis here, and I am just delighted to be on the program tonight and share some heartwarming stories. What we have going here at Dream Connections is probably one of the most successful and amazing things happening in modern history in terms of helping men and women connect for marriage. We have been at this for almost 8 years, and what we do is we help men who somehow feel in their heart that the spouse they've been looking for could be in another country. They don't know how to get there. And since I found my wife, met my wife almost 12 years ago now in Ukraine, and I'd traveled to Latin America, my wife and I devised a system to try to help sincere people connect, and the results have been pretty astounding. Really, we've had 80% of our clients start a new relationship. Of those that became married, we haven't had any divorces as of today, knock on wood. And that's about 300 men and women plus. So it's really kind of an astounding story. And at one point, I'd love to do even a TED Talk to say, how can anybody have these kind of numbers? How does this work? And we've learned some amazing things about our international marriages that really, I think, would be great for anybody to learn. And even domestic relationships. So someday, hopefully, we will, as a group here at Dream Connections, help teach the world about about relationships and how they can really work and be great. So tonight I'm going to share with you some really heartwarming stories. I have a special video prepared to share with you and a special guest. So, just prepared for a great night of great entertainment, great stories. And I'm going to kick it off right off the bat. I put this out. We have a Facebook group for married couples, men and women who are married, so they can all have fellowship and hang out with each other. And not all of them have joined, but I've got like 75 to 79 or something like that in the married couples group. By the way, if you hear a cat noise in the background, I'm going to tell you the story real quick because I'm not going to be able to avoid this. I'm bringing home from Ukraine to my wife a cat that she's wanted for a long time, and so it's a Bengal kitten, and this comes from its international passport. I'm carrying it on the plane with me in 2 days on the way home, and he's adorable, and hopefully he'll be quiet. So it's not your imagination or a glitch in the sound. It really is a cat that's in this room. Anyway, I want to share with you some heartwarming stories tonight, and these were shared from the group, the married couples group. I put out there, hey, I want to tell your stories. So I got a half a dozen guys to post some pictures and whatnot and some stories. So I'm going to start right off the top with stories of marriage proposals. And why is this important? Because, all the guys here, we're all romantics. We love the warm fuzzies. We love creating great experiences, emotions for our ladies. We want to see our ladies just light up. The tears when they cry and they just have such emotional feelings because we created it. Hang on, this isn't going to work. Where are you? Come. So there he is. This here, I'll introduce you to Simba. Simba is a gift from my wife, and is a beautiful cat. So having said that, I have no choice but to interrupt my presentation with this cat who wants attention. And I'm going to very kindly and gently place him in the other room. I'll be right back. Well, I don't know if it's going to keep the crying down, but I thought it would temper the sound. Maybe it won't. If tonight's a bomb, that's the way it is. This is not working, cat. They used to say in radio there is nothing like live broadcasts. Nothing like live broadcasts. I am going to do a take two on this. All right, our recording's going. All right, we're going to start right off the bat here. Hopefully the cat's quiet enough in the background. All right, guys. Hey, welcome everybody. Mark Edward Davis here. I'm just delighted to share a really warm and heartwarming story here tonight. Some great thoughts about why we're here, why we do what we do at Dream Connections. And this is about creating marriages. And really tonight is a joy. We have a community now of married couples that we've helped put together. And all the ones that have been married, we actually have really a good number that have joined our secret Facebook group for married couples where the wives can talk to each other, the guys can, and it's been a really cool opportunity for probably a third of our married people. We've got almost, I think, 79 in that group out of the 300 men and women we've helped get married. And so I put out to the group, I said, hey guys, I want to do a special story about proposals, how you propose to your wife, just to give guys ideas and share some heartwarming stories. And plus tonight we've got a special video coming and a special guest, so I'm really looking forward to sharing this presentation with you tonight. So without further ado, let me get into what was shared and some of the photos here, and we're going to just have a terrific time. Because, guys, honestly, you got to think about it. This is what you want. You want this to be your story. And why are proposals fascinating to us? Why do they capture us? Because this group is a good group. These are a good group of romantic guys with good hearts, and we're all romantics here. We love to see our ladies just tear up with joy and know that we help do that. We want to leave a lasting impression, and we do want her to be able to brag to her friends about us. It's kind of fun, her man did this for her. We want to create memories that you both are going to treasure for the rest of your life. And so without further ado, I'm going to kick it off with a story shared with me from the Facebook group. First of all was Patrick and Juliet. Patrick shared his story. He says, I'd intended to take Juliet to the beach or somewhere romantic to propose to her, but it just didn't work out that way. We went to a shopping center, and I guess later we found out, I guess he got the ring there and snuck it by surprise. But he says there was a miscommunication and a misunderstanding while they were there. We returned back to our apartment, and she made a comment that she was worried that somehow that she had offended him. And at that point, he says, the only way I know to prove to her that I was not offended was to act right then and there. I grabbed the ring that I'd bought and typed a quick message on my cell phone to translate into Russian. And I don't remember the exact words, but I told her I was not offended, that I loved her and I wanted her to marry me. So it wasn't a very romantic proposal. I asked her that important question right there in the apartment. She was quite surprised. She had not expected it, but she did say yes. So Patrick, all I can say is you manned up. You just made it happen, and we're proud of you for that. The next one is George and Yana, and George says, I proposed to my wife 45 days after we first met. It was also my first day back in Ukraine, having communicated only by Viber for the preceding month. I had contacted a couple of Yana's friends to celebrate with us at karaoke on my first night, knowing that I couldn't keep this secret for long. My voice is terrible. He's talking about karaoke here. But I presented this opportunity to my girl, and really at the worst possible moment. Everything I wanted to say to her, I heard in the lyrics, Marry Me by Pat Mohanan and Train. He thought it was the perfect song, so he gets the microphone to basically sing karaoke, and he sings to her this song, Marry Me. And he says, she was shocked and recovered quickly and replied, yes, 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 more accurately, da, da, da. And it was a majestic evening, and we were married just 50 days later, and I was happy to be there. So there he snuck in a picture of the ring, their wedding day, and the group at karaoke, including their translator. So, and it's surprising how many guys end up including their translator in this because they become part of the family. So again, you guys, thanks for sharing your stories. The next one I want to share was from Thad and Yulia. And I love this setup here to this restaurant with the rose petals on the floor and the candles everywhere, and then this table, and I might have been in a hotel room. I don't know where it exactly was. I'm guessing it's a restaurant by a couple of the shots coming up. But let me share with you. I met Yulia in November of 2015 tour. Things quickly progressed and made a return trip in February 2016. At that point, I knew I was going to propose to Julia. I was making plans to return in the spring, around May or June, when we had the opportunity to visit friends of hers in Sweden. But plans were made to visit Turkey a few days before the flight to Sweden, as Turkey was our layover airport. I thought to myself, this is the moment of opportunity. Somewhere along the trip, I picked the right moment to catch her at the right time and propose. All the possibilities were going through my head, exactly when and where. At the end of May, I landed in Ukraine and couldn't wait until later in the trip, so I proposed that evening. I decided we would go to one of my favorite restaurants, Schultz. Oh, cool. This is at Schultz? Awesome. Later, we walked to a cafe for dessert, coffee, and tea. Oh, I see. Later. Little did she know that I had reserved the whole cafe just for them. Had a photographer in hiding. She opened the door and saw the rose petals, and that's this shot, and rose petals and tea lights on the floor leading to the table with the flowers and champagne and candles. Her first thoughts were, we need to go and not bother the people who this is for. That's adorable. We shouldn't. Somebody already has this set up. This is reserved for somebody. We should go. Oh my gosh, so humble and so shy. That's adorable. Completely unexpected surprise for her. When she finds out that these people are us, of course she says yes, and our vacation was taken now as an engaged couple, and we had a great time. So I love that they had a photographer all lined up, and it's just adorable. There's those moments. Oh, just really happy for you guys. That's fantastic. Congratulations. And of course, married today, and we love you guys. All right, Chris and Julia, our own. So Chris shares this story. In June of 2017, I knew that my Julia was the woman for me. I also knew I wanted to do something special for her. So what I did was my sister Julia, which was his translator, and I got a lot of pictures. And I'll see if I got this photo here. Okay, there it is. If you can see in the strings, there's photos hanging up of the two of them together. A lot of pictures of me and Julia together printed out. We strung them on twine. Then I rented a boat in Nikolaev. The whole boat was just for her, and I brought her favorite chocolates, champagne, and roses. I told her to get dressed up in her blue dress and to wait for a call from Julia. We decorated the boat with all of our photos together, and Julia, my translator sister, brought my Julia to me. And when she came to the boat, I asked her, "Are you ready to begin a journey of our lives together?" To which she said yes. So the boat ride began. It was just the two of us for 45 minutes to propose. However, the ring was just burning a hole in my pocket. So I thought to myself, I don't know how much time I have left to propose, so I better do it now. So I told her when I came to Nikolaev in 2016, I was looking to find someone special, and she was the lady I was looking for. I got down on one knee and asked her if she would marry me, and she said yes. Then we had a 40-minute boat ride together, take pictures, and enjoy ourselves. It was perfect. I couldn't have been happier for how it happened. Aww. And the heart like. Chris and Julichka, two hearts become one, June 2017. That's fantastic, bro. Our next couple who offered their story, John and Angela. I messed up the first time trying to get engaged, so I brought out the big guns for the second time. It was a big misunderstanding and miscommunication involved. We told everyone that we would get engaged at my birthday party in Nikolaev, Ukraine. I wanted my Angela to show me the kind of ring designs that she wanted, which is what I had done previously with my former spouse. But she wouldn't agree to go out with me to go ring shopping. She wanted the big romantic gesture, and she didn't tell me. So I unintentionally embarrassed her at my birthday party by telling everyone that we were engaged, but no ring to show for it. So once we talked it over the next day, the air was cleared, and we both were embarrassed by our miscommunication. And she finally went out with me to look at rings. A short word of advice here is to talk these things over with your beautiful fiancé before you announce to the world you're engaged. That's pretty smart, John. Good call. So now you have to ask the girl first, okay? I mean, that is kind of a no-brainer. You know, you should get the girl to say yes before you tell everybody she did. Anyway, so now comes the story of the actual engagement. We had plans to go to Spain for a month-long holiday. Good for you. In Costa del Sol region. Angela arrived at the airport at midnight. I picked her up in the rental car, and we drove to the airport on the beach after a quick 5 hours of sleep. I awoke and invited Angela down to the beach with me so we could watch the sunrise. Very cool. I snuck the ring in my pocket as we got dressed, so on the beach, I turned my cell phone camera on and recorded my proposal. Very cool. I talked about how much I loved her and how the sunrise symbolizes new beginnings and the start of each new wonderful day. I told her that I wanted to propose at sunrise since I did not want any other day to pass without being engaged to her. Now each sunrise reminds me of the wonderful life we are creating together. I caught her completely by surprise, and not because she was sleepy. She expected me to propose during that week, but maybe at a dinner or something like that. So she got her big romantic gesture, and I redeemed myself from earlier faux pas. We had a beautiful engagement holiday visiting Lisbon in Portugal. Travel secret, plan on spending a week in Sintra. It's divine, okay? And etc. We hated to leave. The big lesson we learned after spending a month in Spain is that we need to spend more time in Spain. Show off. But we're happy for you, brother. That's fantastic. Congratulations. Of course, happily married today. Next, I want to share the story from Bruno and Galena. When I went to visit Galena towards the end of June 2017, I had planned to propose to her. Before I left home, I prepared a show card with my proposal in Russian. I was studying Russian for nearly a year by then. I didn't tell her initially about my plans, and I innocently said, let's just look for a ring. When she found one she liked, I said to the sales agent, dun dun dun, turn the page please, buying it much more to her surprise. On the 24th of June, I invited her to a meal at this Bartomello resort. This is one of the most romantic locations in Dnipro and perfect for occasions like this. It was a perfect evening, nice summer day, and romantic atmosphere. After we finished our meal, I asked her if I can ask her something, and I proposed in Russian. And she said, da. So here's his Russian proposal in Russian. I think that's really cool. Congratulations, bro. I love it. And the women are always so proud. Like, look at my ring, look at my ring. They always send pictures home. It's cool. I'm really happy for both you guys. All right, now here's this couple named Mark and Anna. You know, maybe you know them, maybe you've heard of them. I got to tell you, in my story, my wife had asked me not to propose until she was all the way in America, and the reason for that was I had 2 ex-wives, and she wanted to make sure before she agreed to marry me that coming into country with 2 ex-wives wasn't going to be a bad idea if there's a war going on or if it'd be miserable for her. And of course, she ends up making friends with my ex-wives who turned out loving her, and obviously they didn't love me. So anyway, it was cool. So now she's there with my son. We're now in America, and we could do the official proposal. So I don't know if she knew to expect it this night. I would guess she probably was expecting it. But we went on this cruise. It was in the San Francisco Bay Harbor. You can see the Bay Bridge in the background there, and that boat right there is the one we got on. And it was really cool. We were on the second deck where they had the big band and a big dance floor there. And what I'd proposed on is I'd taken my son with me to Ukraine. I wanted him to feel part of the process, and like he also picked her, not just me. And so I felt I'd have him part of the proposal process. So what I did was, at the right time, I got on one knee and held her hand, and my son got on a knee and held her other hand, and I asked her to be my wife, and he asked her to be a stepmom, and it was really kind of cute, and the whole place, of course, clapped for us and all this kind of stuff. So it was really kind of cool. All right, and without further ado, I'm very excited to share with you a special video presentation. And so with that, hang on, because I'm going to need a quick minute to set it up.
I was wondering where that was.
No, I got you covered, brother. We're good. It's awesome. Okay, so
Влюбляются не в лица, не в фигуры, и дело, как ни странно, не в ногах. Влюбляются в тончайшие натуры и в трещинки на розовых губах. Влюбляются в шероховатость кожи, в изгибы плеч и легкий холод рук, в глаза, что на другие не похожи, и в пулеметно-быстрый сердце стук. Влюбляются во взмах ресниц недлинных и родинки на худеньких плечах, созвездия веснушек чьих-то дивных и ямочки на бархатных щеках. Влюбляются не в лица, не в фигуры, они всего лишь маски, миражи. Влюбляются надолго лишь в натуры, влюбляются в мелодии души. Два замечательных человека, несмотря на тысячи километров, разделяющих их, встретили друг друга. Эта встреча стала началом незабываемых эмоций, глубоких чувств и неземной любви.
When I started this journey, I was not sure what I would find. I know what I wanted to discover. I was hoping to find someone that was smart, funny, caring, supportive, and beautiful both inside and out. My journey started in Seattle, Washington, in the United States. This was my first international flight, but I had to do it. I had this feeling that my second half was in Ukraine. So I boarded the plane and I was on my way. Again, not sure of what I would find ahead of me. When I got off the plane and was on the road to Nikolai from Odessa, I fell in love with what I was seeing. I know I had made a good decision. I met many wonderful people, but from the moment you walked in front of me at the restaurant, I knew I had to get to know you. I wanted to spend all of my time with you. I had no other thoughts about anything other than you. So, my beloved Savetta, are you ready for this?
You're my sweetheart. You're my sweetheart.
Hello. Thank you for letting me take your time. The film was wrong in one aspect. I thought that I was coming here for my other half, because I always thought my heart was broken into two, my half and your half. But my other half, my heart is broken actually into four parts, because I met Kostya and Nastya. And I love you with all of my heart. And I would like to know if you would do me the honor of letting me be part of your family, and you guys become part of my family, and will you marry me? She said yes. Thank you. Nastia. Natastia, this is for you. Come up here. He's not into moments like this. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can we see you too? Can we get you up here? Hey, there we go. Yeah, let's get you in frame here. Tilt your camera down a little bit. Looks good, brother. I got to tell you, that was an incredible day, and we had a blast putting it together, and it was fantastic. So if you don't mind, back up a little bit and tell the little guys about how the whole idea came about and what it took to pull that off.
So, and I would like to really like to claim credit for this, but I spoke to Arena and little Anna, and asked them for some ideas, and they helped me brainstorm, and this was actually their idea. They presented me with a couple, and this is the one I like the most. So I asked for their help, and they helped me put it all together. In actually a very short amount of time, they did it. It was awesome.
It was a lot of fun. I was obviously here in the office when it was all going together, and they're making phone calls to the movie theater people, the projector runners. They had to go back and forth with samples. Not only did they create the video, our team here, Sasha and Olya, but they had to take a drive back and forth to make sure it worked with the projection system. It was really quite the operation. We talked afterwards. We enjoyed it so much. I mean, it really made our day to be part of it. And we talked about we should have done more of the making of, because we were running around like crazy behind the scenes trying to get the timing right and pull you out at the right time and set you up. But tell me what it took on your end to get Svetlana and the kids there right and get them positioned so you could make this all happen.
So I actually told Svet about a week before we did all this that I wanted to go to the movie theater on July 4th, our holiday, because, well, it's a holiday and I'm in Ukraine and I want to celebrate it by being with them, and they like to go to the cinema. But she knows I like to normally sit in the back of the theater and in the middle, as far back as I can. And so we went online and ordered the tickets. And I said, let's pick these seats here. They were like second row, right on the end. And she looked at me like I was absolutely crazy, But I just said, let's try something different. And she's just like, okay, no problem. And but she did want to sit in the middle, and I was like, no, sit here. And she kind of gave me a little bit of a look whenever I said, you need to sit here, because I was asked by Arena to make sure that she sits at the end, so that she has better access and can film her better. But it worked out pretty good.
It worked out really good. I got to tell you, from our perspective, for me, I mean, I actually haven't talked to anybody else about this. The thing that was really, and I got to tell you, I'm going to admit I teared up big time through this whole thing. It was very emotional for us too, and we were very supportive of you. But to me, the audience was the thing that caught me. The house was like 80% full. The seats were like 80% full. All these people there, mostly probably just Russian speaking, and they were, and we don't, are they going to hate us for interrupting their movie? I mean, for stopping.
Right.
And they were so supportive. They were so into it. I mean, we cut out a lot, but there were so many times they stopped and clapped and stopped and clapped, and they were just so much excited for you guys. And you hear in the video, because we could hear it now, how it's like as soon as you asked, she said yes. You could hear her say it quietly, because she was kind of choked up too. And then she said it again, but the audience couldn't hear. So finally, somebody in the back of the room said, "Did she say yes?" And you had to tell everybody she said yes, right?
Yeah, actually, the lady said, "Say yes." And I was like, she said yes. It was great, man. It was perfect. And after the movie was over and a lot of people stayed to watch the credits, a lot of people actually shook my hand as I was walking out of the theater and gave me the perfect, good job,
nice.
excellent. And so I was pumped because I was really worried about whether or not they were going to be like, why is this bad American interrupting my movie? But, you never know what they're going to think. But they were all very pleasant and happy for me, so it was great.
It was wonderful, and it was cute watching the video. And by the way, this is going to be live on YouTube, guys, just that piece of it, too, if you want to go rewatch just that video piece from their proposal. But the interesting thing is to watch Svetlana's reaction, because it was only about 20 seconds into the video when she clearly recognized that the voiceover, even at the early part, was Irina. And she's like, wait, what's going on here? And she got it right away. But it was cool that, she was clueless till that moment. And all the stuff beforehand was adorable and really worked out well. So, congratulations on, on pulling off something pretty cool. And we were very happy to be part of it. So salute to you. And, I guess we make a bigger deal of this because we don't often get a chance to video an entire proposal production. So
right.
It worked out nice. Anyway.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and the Dream Connections team really came through on that too. I mean, just from the start of the tour to the end to this proposal, you guys have just been awesome. And all I can say is, if there's any guys in the audience that are just thinking about doing it, just go do it. even if you're not at 80%, you're still going to enjoy yourself, and it's a great vacation. Just go into it thinking like that, and you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, bro. I really appreciate that. And it always happens now. And I want you guys in your imagination to be spinning. The reason we do this for you guys in the tribe is because I want you to be imagining and pre-planning your day and what you're going to do and seeing that life ahead of for you. And we've had every time now, there's one guy originally about 2 years ago who decided to propose the boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, at the meet and greet event. So the whole room stopped as he did this proposal. And since then, it's been this tradition. Every time we do a meet and greet event, I think last time we had 4 guys, propose a relationship at that, because it's kind of like they want to make that their big deal and have their moment to embarrass their girl. We had one 2 tours ago where not only did the guy do that, but she pre-planned to bring this balloon bouquet for him. And so we had the girl, it's just been great. We love this stuff, guys. We love this stuff. And we want you to, in your mind and imagination, see your day coming too, because I believe that if you're here, your day is coming too. Jimmy, thanks for sharing. We love you guys, and we just consider you friends. We know you have a great future ahead of you. And just congratulations again on pulling off just a really classic proposal, man. Well done.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys, and with that, we'll wrap up tonight. And as I always say in my videos, you're next. All right, guys, have a great evening.